Hey, Jack, thanks for taking the time today.
Hey, no problem.
We'll get started here with Mike Kay and then Zach Berman.
Hey, Jack, congrats on making the team. Wanted to ask you, obviously that room is jam-packed with talent. You're coming in as an undrafted free agent. You see Tyree kind of take off. Was there a certain point in maybe the joint practices of the preseason where you said, hey, I got this? Like outside of your normal confidence, just, hey, I think I've made this roster.
I'm one of these guys. I try not to be complacent, so that's not what's on my mind. I'm just trying to be, the best version of myself that I can be. And so, I'm just going out there every day trying to get better, myself, making sure I'm tightening up my game, connecting with everyone, competing. So, listen, I've always had the confidence that, I'm an NFL caliber tight end, and, it was awesome just going out there and being able to prove it.
So then let me ask you this. What was the thing that you came into camp saying, look, I need to get tremendously better at, and you feel like you did make those strides throughout the month?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing has been, just getting a grasp of the playbook. It's new for everyone, and especially coming in and, this is my first year being in the NFL, grasping everything and getting the little details, not just understanding, hey, here's what you have to do, but understanding, the footwork you got to use or, the discipline you got to use in your route and stuff like that. So it's really just tightening up the small things. And as camp went on, I started to feel a lot more comfortable with some of that. And so, I think that was probably the biggest thing.
Zach and then John.
Hey, Jack, nice to meet you virtually here. If you think back to April, what made you want to sign with the Eagles? Because I imagine you had a choice, and what was their pitch to you?
Yeah, absolutely. I just realized that it was a great opportunity with the Eagles. Obviously when you're in a room with, when you got Zach Dallas in there and, a bunch of other guys, I mean, it's an awesome opportunity to learn. And, being the undrafted guy, you come to the reality, you're not going to walk in, be the starter day one. And, being able to learn from guys like that and being an opportunity in a city like this is kind of really what drew me. And, really their pitch was, you'll be able to come here and, learn, and we'll give you an opportunity to show what you have. They didn't guarantee anything. And listen, like I said, I always like having a chip on my shoulder and, nothing should be given to you. So, and, obviously being a drafted guy, that's how it works. So, that was really the main thing. And, like I said, Philadelphia is an awesome city, and I'm excited to be here.
As a quick follow-up, players often say that they don't count the numbers, right? But as an undrafted guy, it would make sense to look at the depth chart. Were you looking at what that depth chart was and if there would be a potential opportunity for you?
Obviously, I think anyone who says they aren't doing that is lying. And so, I took a look at the depth chart, and, it was one of those deals where, when I was looking at it, I realized, like I said, I can learn from some great guys, and, I can come in, step in, and compete, and most importantly, get an opportunity to go play in these preseason games. And that was what ended up happening here in Philadelphia. And like I said, I mean, my goal was always to make the team, and I ended up doing it. And, listen, I'm lucky to have a great group of guys in there, too, that I've been able to learn with and, get to know over the past couple of weeks here. And, I'm looking forward for, that time to be extended.
John and then Martin.
Hey, Jack, congratulations on making the team. We were talking to Nick the other day, Nick Sirianni. He brought up Jason Michael kind of out of the blue, called him the best tight end coach he thinks in the NFL. What has he meant to you getting in here with him and your development just in this kind of short time?
Absolutely. And, he's another reason I ended up coming here. He's obviously very knowledgeable, football IQ wise, and he's someone that connects well, with the entire room. And he's someone, if I have any sort of question, he'll go out of his way to make sure I get that answer, regardless of what it is. I know I can always go to him for anything. And, if I have a question on technique, he'll go out of his way to make sure that, we do things right. And, he's a guy who he just is on it. Well, I agree with Coach Sirianni there. He's been unbelievable to work with.
And also just to follow up with Zach, he had mentioned he's one of the best route running tight ends in the NFL already, as I'm sure you know, but he mentioned how much Nick playing the receiver position from that aspect of your position has helped him think about things that maybe he never did in the past. How much does Nick Sirianni help you from the receiving perspective?
Oh, he helps tremendously. And, coming out of college, I wasn't as tight, route running wise and understanding, concepts and, coming out of breaks and how important, all that stuff added together ends up being. And so having him explain everything specifically, routes on, for routes, the depths on routes, your alignment, everything like that. And so, I mean, we'll sit in meetings and he'll go over something that everyone would view as a minute detail, but he wants to make sure it's right because at the end of the day, all the minor details end up adding up into, football games that, you either win or lose. And so, I mean, he's been honest about every minor detail and, he's helped us tremendously. And you can see as the camp's gone on, all these details are getting cleaned up and, everything's working just like we drew it up. So, he's been unbelievable and has really helped us out a lot.
All right, we'll take two more here from Martin and Dave.
Hey, Jack, congrats on making the team. So I was curious as to how exactly Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert kind of helped you along. Like, what kind of things have they taught you since you've been here?
Absolutely. Zach, I can just go up and ask him, I'll ask him a few tips on, how he's winning routes. And, he's been a guy who, he'll just give me tips on, obviously him being in the league for 9-10 years now. He's been able to help give me tips on, how to beat this DB with this leverage and stuff like that. So he's been unbelievable there. And then Dallas has done the same. And, they've really gone out of their way, whether it's in, a walkthrough and they'll give me a tip here or there. And, just soaking in information and just being able to watch how they do everything every day and, seeing how they perfect their craft has been unbelievable. And, listen, I couldn't be more grateful for those guys and, how much they've helped me develop.
Go ahead, Dave.
Hey, Jack, if you could steal one trait or characteristic from Zach and Dallas, what would you take for your own game?
I think number one, it's pretty obvious, the route running. If I could end up, running routes like Zach does, here in a couple years, I think I'd be an unbelievable receiving tight end. And, I know coming out, I was known as a blocking guy and, I'm out here just trying to prove everybody wrong that, I can catch the ball, I can block and do everything like that. But that, I'm a complete tight end who can do it all. And so, and that's exactly what I'm trying to be. And, that's something that, specifically Zach and Dallas, they find a way to win every single route. And so, that's kind of the biggest thing that, learning from them that I'd love to, instill in my game.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for the time, Jack.
No problem.